To one of France's biggest political scandals. Just a few more hours to wait for the verdict in the historic Angolagate trial. 42 people, including some prominent politicians and businessmen, are accused of trafficking arms to Angola in the 1990s under the watch of former socialist president François Mitterrand. It all began during Angola's civil war that was in 1993. President Dos Santos asked France for weapons. Officially, Mitterrand refused, but behind the scenes, an occult network was set up. A huge arsenal was illegally sold to Angola, some 580 million euros worth of weapons. Joining us now for more is France 24's Catherine Norris-Trent. Catherine, can you tell us a little more on the case and who are the defendants?
Well, Lana, yes, there's a whole host of high-profile defendants in this case, 42 in all, and some of them, the names are among the elites of French political and business circles. So, for example, on that defendants list is Jean-Christophe Mitterrand, who's the son of former French President François Mitterrand, former socialist president. And when he was in power back in the 1990s, Jean-Christophe was an Africa advisor to his father, and it's during that time he's accused of taking kickbacks worth over 1.7 million euros for his role allegedly in being an intermediary in this massive arms sale. Also on the list, former French Interior Minister Charles Pasqua. He's also accused of taking bribes for lobbying on behalf of Angola, and on the defendants list there's also a whole host of other officials, advisor, even a novelist. But the two men at the centre of this case are two businessmen. One of them is Pierre Falcon, who's in part French, and he's accused of working with Arkady Gadimak, who's a Russian-Israeli billionaire, and he's actually being tried in absentia. He hasn't turned up to any of this trial. He went back to Israel and then Russia, and there's an international warrant out for his arrest, but he's not been in court for this Angolagate trial.
So this is obviously a major case here in France. How does it impact France's relations with Angola?
Well, lots of observers are saying if there are harsh penalties, harsh sentences handed down in today's verdicts, then that will probably have a very negative impact on relations between France and Angola, which have been strained over this case. It touches on some very sensitive areas. Right at the beginning of the trial, the Angolan government tried to get some of the evidence used in this trial. They wanted some of that not to be used. They said that they requested that out of respect for Angola's defence secrecy, that some of the evidence shouldn't be submitted. And the Angolan government pushed to have this case dropped. That obviously didn't happen. And then we've had Nicolas Sarkozy, French president, on a trip to Angola in 2008, trying to smooth ties over. Angola is Africa's largest oil-producing country, and several French companies are vying for lucrative contracts there. So that could obviously come into the equation. And lots of people in Africa and here in France will be watching very closely what the verdicts and the sentences are later on today.
Well, thanks very much, and we'll be following this story with you, Catherine Norris-Trent, throughout the day. Thanks a lot.